Someone explain this to me. A husband goes to work in an office 8 hours a day. A wife goes to work 8 hours a day in an office. The kids go to school 8 hours a day. Everyone feels like they're in a prison institution between the hours of 8 to 5, under yellow fluorescent lights, typing all day long. Then everyone finally comes home, burnt out. The kid has like 3 hours of homework and sports, and you get maybe 2 hours with your family before bed. And then we only get 2 days out of the week where we're completely free to do whatever we want. We used to be outside. We used to be farming, living in communities. Now we're in front of screens all day long, in pointless meetings with micromanaging bosses. I cannot tell you how many meetings I've been in that have been completely pointless. All of this could have been a 3-sentence email. I have 3 bullet points worth of action items, yet it had to be a 30-minute meeting. But nope, I have to spend hours every single day in pointless meetings. People in corporate, what else are we using other than fireflies to not crash out at our job?
Quite a few things feel off in America right now, and many people can feel it. They are exhausted, burned out, and stretched thin in many ways that really didn't exist not too long ago.
I don't understand how 70% or more of people are okay with working 40 or more hours per week, sometimes with 2 jobs, just to barely be making it, to have nothing left at the end of the week, be 1 week's paycheck away from total chaos, bankruptcy, and homelessness. Why are we accepting this? And I know, I'm just an average guy here in America. I don't wear a fancy suit and tie. I'm not being paid to manipulate you through the TV. Some of us out here have thought about what we can do collectively to solve this problem. And really, it doesn't involve violence. And that's a great thing, because what has history taught us? That doesn't solve shit either. That just makes the rich people richer and digs us in a further hole and keeps us right where they want us.
I'll tell you what, man, I'm about to the point to where I'm going to sell all my shit and start living like the Amish. If the economy don't get much better, that's exactly what we're going to do. Gas is too damn high. Groceries too damn high. Everything's just too damn high. It don't matter if you make $100,000 a year anymore. I mean, shit. It's like you making $15 an hour. You know? I mean, good Lord, man. Something's got to give. And you're going to have folks say, well, you got to budget your money better and this and that and other. And while that may have some, play in it, I will say, but good God, at the same time, you can't sit here and tell me that the price of everything ain't gone up. Because it has. I mean, this economy is trash, man. Well, you shouldn't have voted for the orange man. I didn't vote for anybody. Something's got to give. We got to do something. This shit's crazy.
Just 30 years ago, someone could be working at Macy's, marry someone who's working at Lowe's, 40 hours a week, get married, buy a house, and raise 3 children. The American dream, and pull that off in their late 20s or early 30s. Now, we created an economy where none of the essential jobs for Gen Zers can afford to have access to the American dream in a reasonable time frame. They might be able to save and get access to it at 57, but what the fuck? You want them to live in an apartment and sacrifice till they're 57? When every other generation before us got to have access to it in their late 20s, early 30s, if you fucked up maybe late 30s, you shouldn't have to be a brain surgeon and a top YouTuber getting married to buy the average house and have 1 child. When just 30 years ago, a high school dropout who's like, I'm just going to live my life and get a job down the street, could raise a family on that. That's the American dream. That's where the boomers get that work hard, pull yourself up. No shit. If you could drop out of high school and go work 50 hours a week at a factory and break your back, but you bought a house and raised 3 kids with a stay-at-home mom, you should be proud of that. We're not trying to take that from you. That doesn't exist anymore. You have to be extraordinary today to live an ordinary life.
You're ever at work and then you look around and you're like, damn, we're all part of a system. Because I always think that, and I always trying to find a way to get out. Oh my gosh. But here I am. It's the only way I get money. It's not, we shouldn't be living like this, to be honest.
I live in a place that I can't afford. I work so very hard to not be able to afford to live in Virginia. In my area, everything is so expensive, and for what I do for the corporation I work for, which is a very big corporation in this area, I still can't afford to live here. Nowadays, you cannot get a decent apartment without paying thousands of dollars to live there, and I'm being told I don't make enough money to buy a home where I live. where I work, where I pay taxes. I can't afford to buy a house. I don't make enough money for that. I think it's just so sad and sucky to put so much work in to look up and realize you only paid bills and taxes and you can't afford to have something of your own without making a ton of money, which you should be able to make the money to live where you work and pay taxes. It makes me so frustrated to be a single mom, to be a full-time worker, to actually do well at what I do and still not be able to have things of my own because the area does not pay its people what it costs to live in the area. That is so insane to me.
Existing as a fully conscious individual with a fully functioning brain in the United States of America is an incredibly difficult existence. You are well aware, to the full extent, how evil, how sinister, how devious, how backwards this nation is. And once you have reached that level of consciousness, which really just requires some common sense, there's no going back. And from there, it's like, how do I go about my day, right? The days don't get any easier. The days don't get any shorter. You just have to function. You have to function as a part of something that you really do despise at the end of the day. All the while knowing how many other countries, many other first world countries exist and how different they are in essentially every aspect of the quality of life of their citizens. Here, it's backwards. And one of the biggest questions I ask myself, if I were the head honcho of a nation, right, a powerful nation, would I not want intelligent, healthy, capable citizens? But this country wants the opposite. Because you exist as a cog, you exist as cattle, you exist as a working farm animal, right? You have no purpose outside of that, right? These other nations, they want the best for their people because strong people make a strong state. Here, the state just does whatever it wants. So obviously it does not want capable, it does not want critically thinking, it does not want healthy people. And existing as someone who likes to live that way, it's tough.
I feel like I am stuck in an abusive relationship that I cannot get out of. I have to pay the electric company or I won't have electricity. I have to go to the food store to buy groceries to eat and to feed my family or we will starve to death. I have to pay for medical insurance so that if something happens, we're protected. Auto insurance. Because what if there's a car accident? I have to buy gas. I can't just make gas on my own. I can't just make oil to heat my house. We are stuck because the only way that we will be unstuck is if every human being decided to do the exact same thing. Stop moving, stop driving, stop traveling, give up your vehicles, live on a commune. But other than that, there's no way we are getting out of this abusive relationship. And we predicted that this was going to happen and nobody listened. And now it's happening, and I just spent almost $4 a gallon for gas. And guess what? Oh, well, because I'm in my car, because I have to drive places today. I have shit to do today. So it doesn't matter if the gas was $8 a gallon. I still have to buy gas, and they know that we have to buy gas. We're cogs in a wheel, all of us. Working and working and working, and we're paying the government so much money to take care of us. We're buying things that we don't need. We're paying for things that we never asked for. And the things that we really, really need are not available to us. So we are stuck in this abusive relationship. And there's no place for us to go.
$1,500 rent is why people's grannies are sitting at the bus stop with their suitcases. Yeah, because their disability, their pensions no longer can cover their rent and their bills. It's not just young people who are too lazy to work. I rarely see young people on the street. It's all elderly and disabled people. They're clean, they're well-dressed. I literally seen someone's grandmother at the bus stop with her church clothes on and her suitcases. And everybody's first reaction is to ask where's their family? Well, this is their fault. How they get here, and that's crazy to me. That is crazy to me. What makes you think that everybody has grandchildren? Everybody has immediate family in the States. Everybody can afford to move towards they can't. Otherwise, they would be there. And I just think it's crazy that people will fight against affordable housing just to be able to call somebody else broke. These celebrities, these apps have really messed y'all up in the head. Y'all have normalized things that are not normal. $1,500 for a regular apartment is crazy. That used to be considered luxury prices. Now that is the normal, and that doesn't scare y'all. And if it's not affecting you right now, trust me, it eventually will, or it will definitely start to affect someone you love. What the is having money and being able to afford your rent if everybody around you is struggling? Your mom, your grandmother, your cousin, your siblings.
No one should have to decide, are we going to freaking eat and feed our family and pay our car payments, which get us to work and back, and not get them repoed? Or are we going to not pay our car insurance and it's going to lapse, and then, you know, you're not going to be able to get your car tag? And these are things that we as Alabamians are truly worried about when a power bill is $800 and $900. That's just the reality of living in Alabama. And if you don't know what you're talking about and you don't live here, then please don't chime in, because we really don't care. We're number 3 in the nation for the highest power bills. Number 3 in the nation. So no, don't talk to me about central heat and air unit or, oh, it's probably your insulation. We're number 3 in the nation. Alabama as a state, not small town thrifty mom in her house. Okay. Somebody asked the other day, well, how, they're not from Alabama, by the way. They said, how in the world do y'all pay power bills like that? Like, how do y'all do that? And have mortgages, car payments, bills, insurance, blah, 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 blah. Like, how do you afford to live? How do you afford to do extra things? How do you afford groceries? This was a conversation we were having. And I said, we buy sausage for everything. Sausage for spaghetti. Literally this kind of sausage too, guys. Like Walmart brand sausage, because this shit's $2.84. I'm gonna buy 3 of them, and that's what goes in our spaghetti. That's what goes in our hamburger helper. We have sausage. We have sausage in everything. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. I'm really not. You have to go the cheapest route. There's some things you just have to cut on. Like, it's not an option. You don't have an option. I mean, you can't do everything. You can't have $800 and $900 power bills and still afford to go buy groceries the way that you want to. I could, but I'm not going to, because then I'm going to have to cut it from somewhere else. You know what I mean? I could maybe not go thrift. I could. But anyway, I don't know what's on this sausage. Maybe it's just a thing. So we're having spaghetti tonight. It's got sausage in it. Hamburger helper, believe it or not, it'll have sausage in it because it's just cheaper than hamburger meat. So that's just what it is. It's just how we deal with it. At least I'm not having to decide, am I going to make my car payment? Am I going to pay my car insurance? Which one's going to lapse? I mean, because some people, they can't. They don't have an option. It's either they're going to have lights and something else not get paid, or they're going to pay their car payment and their insurance and they're not going to have lights. It truly sucks.
So many of these stories are becoming a reality for a lot of Americans. It's sort of a new normal. And we have to ask ourselves, if this is what normal looks like, should we accept that? Should we keep chasing a system that keeps moving the finish line? Things that were good enough before are really not good enough now. People used to be able to plan for retirement. They used to plan for a home, plan for children, plan for climbing a corporate ladder, whatever it is that their goal was, a lot of things are just so out of reach now because they're becoming less and less attainable. Things are not the same like it was before. Things are increasingly harder and people are feeling the pinch more and more. They are being crushed by these pressures that are constant in our society. So again, should we keep chasing a system that keeps moving the finish line, or is it time to maybe rethink what freedom, stability, and success look like in America today? Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. I really would love to hear from you. Also, check out our new podcast. My husband and I have just started it, the New Exodus podcast. I'll put the link in the description box below. Thank you so much for everybody that's been joining us. We really love being able to connect with you guys there on that podcast. So thank you so much for the comments there and just all of the feedback that you've been giving. We really just enjoy reading that and building a community over there. So thank you again for being here. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you also at the New Exodus podcast where we can get to know each other even better. And until the next video, take care.